Hey guys, SMZ here. We're back playing Raid. Guys, I have a request to all the endgame players out there who have Acrizia. Stop using Relentless on Acrizia. The Hydra has changed, the meta has changed. Acrizia is back into the meta when it comes to Nightmare Hydra, and that's because of the latest Hydra changes. And she needs an update to her build, especially given that a lot of endgame players have unlocked area bonuses, especially for ignore defense. So it's time to switch her from Relentless to a 9-piece Merciless set. So you can see my Hydra in running in the background, and she is doing a crazy amount of damage. She does damage which is slowly creeping her up to Marius's levels of damage. Of course, not nearly as good, but much better than the build that I had before. So that's what we're going to explore for Acrizia. She's been forgotten for a long time because her damage was capped on the Hydra. And since the recent changes with the decapitated heads having twice the amount of HP, she now hits for a good amount of damage, especially on the decapped heads. So let's get into it and let's see what we can do with her build. So this is basically the damage that I had in the end with this team that was running. So as you can see, Mari still is pretty high, 206, but Acrizia is outscaling a 6-star crushing and Michinaki. And that says something. You have to remember that Michinaki is even getting extra damage because of his Hex. So a lot of Acrisia's and Marisa's damage is going to into Michinaki. So let's jump into her build. So how I have built Acrisia now is in a 9-piece Merciless set. Where are you, Acrisia? Is she an attack champion? Yes, she is an attack champion. Okay, perfect. So 9-piece Merciless. Now what 9-piece Merciless does and why it works so well for Acrisia. So there are a couple of things that we need to consider. Number one, Acrizia has 3 enemy max HP skills, right? Her A1 is an enemy max HP, her A2 is enemy max HP, and her A3 is enemy max HP as well. What that means is that she benefits from extra turns. That's why most people have her in Relentless. But what she also benefits from is being able to decrease a random skill cooldown. So when she is booked, her A2 is on a 3 turn, and her A3 is also on a 3 turn. So if you are proccing that cooldown refresh, that is just bonkers. Especially on her A2, on the Hydra. This is a double hit. You all know how hard Marius hits. And Acrazia's damage multipliers are higher than Marius. So she hits that hard with lower stats built into her. So that, which is why this is great for her. And because of 9-piece Merciless, we give her a bump to her attack as well as we give her 35% ignore defense, which Merciless is missing. And of course, with 9-piece, you get a chance for an extra turn. So Relentless comes back in if you have 9-piece anyhow. Now, what we need to understand is Acrizia does not need 350 or 400 crit damage to be doing her nukes. I used to have her my I still need to get used to this. I instantly want to click here. Thank you, Plarium, for this change, but it's going to take some getting used to. So I used to have my Acrizia built with around 350% crit damage. You'll notice I've reduced her down to 262. 250 is even fine. The reason for that is she reaches her damage numbers pretty easily. What do you want to do instead? You want to pump up her speed. Get this speed up as high as you can. Previously, I had my Crazy around 225 speed, which is good, but ideally, I would want her to get up to 300 so she can take a lot of turns. So, now the question is, how do you build that into her kit, especially if you want to go for Merciless? Yes, Merciless is easily available from the Curse City. You can get a lot of pieces, but building all 3 crit rate, crit damage, and speed, it's a bit tricky. So, how do you do it? And the way to do it is, yes, here's the secret: crit rate gloves. Some of you might rant about this in the comments, but crit rate gloves it is. This is one of the champions in which I'm not ashamed of using crit rate gloves. I know it's common knowledge. Every content creator, every guide will tell you to always use crit damage gloves. This is a slightly different case for Acrizia. The reason I use crit rate gloves is it gives me a huge chunk of 60% crit rate in just one piece, which means that I am free to collect speed and crit damage on the other pieces. Combine that with the fact that we have now Ascension available. So you can, with enough Chaos Dust, roll crit damage on here as well. If you really want to double down on this, you can even build to extra 10% crit rate. So this makes it 70% crit rate gloves. But what that allows me is to get a lot of speed on all of the other pieces. So you'll see a double roll on speed here. She's getting 22 speed here. She's gaining 18 speed here, 20 here, 24 here, and then of course the boots are ascended to speed as well. I'm able to pump a lot of speed. The one other thing you need to consider with Acrizia is if you read her kit. So her multipliers scale off of enemy max HP, her own HP, and then attack. So attack is the least priority to begin with. Now combine this with the passive. So the passive says if a target's HP is more than double this champion's max HP, and this will happen with the Hydra, this will happen with the Chimera, this will happen with the Clan Boss. Champion's attack will deal damage based on the target's max HP instead of this champion's attack. What that means is that this attack part goes away. So what that means is you can go for HP percent stuff instead of attack percent on her. So her chest, for example, I'm going full out HP percent. That helps her survivability and that helps her damage as well, as opposed to attack. Similarly, I'm putting her in HP banner. Still need to ascend it fully, but it's there. Even my gloves are not gloves. Amulet is 5-star, and it's not ascended fully. So even here, there's HP. So I'm going on as little attack as possible. The great thing about 9-piece Merciless is it gives attack anyhow, 10% here, 15% here. That's 25% attack. So without building extra attack into her kit, I'm still able to get her to 4k attack, which is great enough. 270 speed, again, I want to pump it up even more. A lot of you guys will have the area bonuses unlocked, probably much better than me, which brings her up even more. With the 20% ignore defense, you need even lower stats. And the crit damage is being pumped up with these anyways. So, that's my request to all of you guys. Do switch her out. She is still an amazing champion who nukes a lot in Hydra. And because of both of these things, so Reflex and Merciless, Reflex and Relentless coming in to forming the Merciless, she is able to hit really hard in basically all areas of the game. I just showed you what she can do on Hydra. I usually do even more damage. I usually close up to 700 million. This 530 because I was running it auto, just to get the auto battles unlocked, the instant battles rather. And this is full auto, right? If I run her manually, I can get the damage numbers even further up. So she's just great in this build, and she used to do much lower damage in Relentless build. So I would highly recommend that you do that. She's similarly great in the Chimera, and I still use her in my Demon Lord team as well. So where is she? And I don't think you can see the damage here. Why can't I find it? It's because it's reset, that's why. So let me just quickly collect and show you the team that I run here. Sell that off later. This is the team I run. She does incredible damage here as well. And again, with the higher speed, she goes a lot more. Brogni is in here just because I have a very soft heart spot in my heart for Brogni. He was my first legendary, and he's just here for the memories basically. And I mean, I know Clan Boss for endgame players is not really a big worry, but she still slots into this team and she does really well. Similarly, she does work well on a lot of the endgame bosses. I, for example, still run her. I think I've done my Iron Twin keys just to show you guys. This is the team I run, and Acrizia, because she's faster, sometimes she takes extra turn here, extra turn there, and she smacks the boss to very little HP here as well. And you can run her in basically any of these teams, right? With the Dragon's Lair, Sand Devil, Phantom Shogun, not so much because her passive basically gets blocked and then she doesn't do as high of damage as some of the other places, but she's just crazy everywhere. So, with that said, Acrizia, amazing champion. Do try to have this build on her with the 9-piece Merciless if you can. Try to pump up her speed as much as you can. That's number one. Number two is that you should try to have HP percent instead of attack percent. And if you're struggling with getting the speed up with having crit damage gloves, do consider using crit rate gloves. They help out in getting the other stats up in all of the other pieces. So yeah, though that's my tidbit for a new build on Acrizia I've tried. And again, if you have this champion, you're incredibly lucky. She's such a great champion. Despite the whole Marius and Newt dominating everywhere, she still slots in. Amazing champion. So that's my guide. Thank you very much for watching till the end. I hope you liked this video, and please leave comments on how you've built Acrizia and how you would change things around to make her smack even harder. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.